Baseball is dead.
Rest in peace.
My God, that is Bobby Dynamite's music.
How we doing, boys? How we doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah, what's up?
How are you doing?
My
how are you?
IQ, blood pressure. I'm fucking great. I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
Feeling good. Because it's almost like I looked into the crystal ball, knew we were going to be here.
I know you're not taking a fucking victory lap in a 3-2 series. Like, first of all, Dallas is firing off arrows on Twitter in the first inning. He's like, "Oh, you fucking idiot!" It's a 1-0 ball game in the first, and he's tweeting me and Joey, "You fucking idiots! How could you pick the Phillies?" It's a 1-0 ball game. Granted, the Houston Astros won, credit to them, but you are playing with fire, my boy. You're dancing with the devil right now, taking an early victory lap. This is not a 3-1 series. This is not a 3-0 series.
It might as well be fucking 4-2 now.
It's a 3-2 series.
Stop. You don't mean that.
You don't mean that at all, dude.
He didn't mean that.
The plane ride is basically like a mini parade. It's a personal parade. Like they're going back to fucking... What I tell you? I told you they were going to get on the airplane knowing full well that the next time they play could be, should be, probably will be the last baseball game they play of 2022 as a team. And then they're going to have a fucking parade. I told you that was going to happen.
Listen,
and we are 24 hours away from that becoming reality.
No. They have an off day.
48 play.
This dude is fucking fucked up.
Yeah. But you guys, you sat there and you thought to yourself, you know what? Justin Verlander can't do it. You had convinced yourselves wholeheartedly that Verlander was not going to be able.
Nobody did that. What are you talking about? No one said that Justin Verlander. No one said that.
I tried to talk.
Oh my God. You don't even believe half the shit.
Out of that.
You are, you know what?
Listening to you both badger Clayton Kershaw.
Out of all the people in baseball media out there spewing takes for a living, you might be the cringiest right now.
Why? What's wrong?
What are you talking about?
No
one here disparaged Justin Verlander. No one said he couldn't. If there was anyone, and I direct quote from Dallas Braden last podcast, fuck Justin Verlander. He can't get it done. That's what Dallas said last podcast. And now he wants to take a victory lap because he had one good game in the World Series. Me and Joe are both on the same side, basically saying this guy can get back on track at any moment. You can't count out one of the greatest of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I believe your question to me was, is he going to get it done? Is he, or actually, no. I walk every bit of that back. It was, he can't be that bad again, can he?
Yeah. That's positive reinforcement.
And you said that after you and Joey essentially knocked out the referee and drug him and hit him under the fucking ring, and then just 2-on-1 Verlandered for fucking 20 minutes.
We just read stats.
Pummeling.
No. There's a difference between saying this guy stinks, this guy can't get it done, and just simply saying that he hasn't won a game in the World Series and he has the worst ERA in World Series history.
Of all time. You made sure that the folks knew of
That's
all
a fact.
time.
That's a fact. That's not a take.
It absolutely is. No, it's not a take. It's a fact.
We got
to state the facts.
Yeah.
There was maybe it was just the emphatic tone with which it came across.
No, you didn't like my tone?
Oh, no, not me. Not me personally. Like
it sounds like you didn't like my tone.
I didn't have a problem with it. I just knew how it was going to land on the ears of folks like
the second.
Like
Fast Freddy. Take us behind the curtain, Dallas. Let's go a little behind the scenes here. See, you start spouting off at the mouth in the first inning, 1-0. And then Kyle Schwarber hits the absolute dog shit out of a leadoff home run. Third leadoff home run in his playoff career, which I believe ties a major league record. What's going through your mind at that point? Because you're like, oh, fuck, did I just jinx the Houston Astros?
No, see, like at that point, I was actually in the hot tub watching the game. And I think what happened is my daughter cannonballed, and then water, phone, digital shit devices and haywire. And Like at first I thought it was hacked, and I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, what? How did this get fucking fired off?
Mhm.
And then I notice that my partners have unfollowed me
What?
on Twitter.
Oh yeah, you fucking yeah, I forgot about that entirely. I'm just sitting there in the middle of the fucking World Series, and I get like a notification: Dallas Braden has followed you on Twitter. You unfollowed us?
No, he made us unfollow him. He made us unfollow him. That was
What?
his fucking.
Am I not
Jedi
following Dallas
fucking-
right now?
I don't
Oh
know
my
how
God.
Yeah, dickhead. Exactly. Take a moment right now.
You
both of
blocked
you.
us?
You over-aggressive. I would
You-
never do such
You
a
I blocked
blocked
him.
us?
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
I blocked him. He had to block him. We had to block you. I don't know about Jared. I
You
can speak for myself. I had
blocked
to
me,
block him.
Dallas?
I told you, Jared, it had to have been, it was a water droplet thing. I had nothing to do with that. I was unaware until I realized that young Joseph had stiff-armed me. I don't know what happened. The first inning got away. The first inning got away from me, and I tried to reel it in. Kind of like Verlander, all right? Things got off to a rocky start. I wasn't as fine as I would have liked to have been out of the gate. So that's basically how that first... That's how I chalk up the first inning. Water droplets, child cannonballs, and Justin Verlander battling back. That's all I got. I'm glad we've moved past this. Well, I've moved past it anyway. I haven't checked my Twitter account to see if you two have decided to jump back on the ship or not.
We'll have to talk about that.
Yeah. I'll have
We'll
to think
put a
about
poll
that,
out.
dude.
Maybe put a poll out.
Put a poll out to see if Dallas is going to get the refollow.
But I have no problem being the one who will go to bat for Justin Verlander. I have no problem being the one guy who was willing to ride with him through the thin and into the thick of it.
That makes sense. I did notice. I was like, I was following 892 people. Why is it 891? Did someone that I follow delete their account or something? Or did someone that I follow block me? It was the literal last person other than my own mother that I would expect to block me on twitter.com.
Jared, I don't even know how to do that shit.
That's not true. You've never blocked anybody before?
No. I struggle with technology at times.
That's true, but I don't know what happened, but the official story is bullshit.
I started to scroll.
This is like the
Joey
Chris
had
Sale
blocked me.
falling off a bike story all over again.
Trust me. I'd like answers too. I'm not going to press you for them though. That's fine.
It's almost like, all right, it happened. You have to deal with it that it happened. We're not telling you how. Typical big leaguer character right now.
No.
We're just going to give you a bullshit story to explain something catastrophic that has happened. And that's the official story. There's no one else was there to corroborate the story. So we just have to take him at his word. Are you still following as of the last 2 hours? Yeah, you are. As of the last 2 hours, you are.
Joey?
I think you can't follow me. You're blocked.
He blocks you back.
Oh, no, that's just not factual.
Yeah. Good job, Joe. Fuck this guy. Guy has one good game and he thinks he can block us. Fuck you. What a scumbag. Thought that Philly fans were scumbags? No. Dallas Braden.
That's just, I'm getting railroaded here unfairly.
Yeah.
Unfairly. Holy shit, Joseph. You fucking dickhead.
Don't talk shit about my Phils, bro. You know
that's true.
Unbelievable.
Shots fired.
Oh.
Don't talk that
Well,
shit.
anyway, that's all right. The Houston Astros and my
This
awesome fucking
podcast is
baseball
in
takes.
disarray. Dallas has me blocked. Joey has Dallas blocked. Jake, did you get blocked in all this?
I didn't. I thought I might catch a stray block, but I didn't.
All right. So Jake is safe.
All of you guys were safe. If I could explain
That's
what
not
happened,
true.
I'd fucking love to.
I mean, now's the time, dude. You got a mic in front of your face. Joey has 6 in front of his. Let's hear it.
No, I've said what I said, and I stand by it. I know who I am. I believe that's a familiar line going around these days right now.
A lying coward is what you are.
I know who I am.
Yeah. Yeah. Unreal.
Like I said, I'm that guy who's one baseball game away, one victory away from squaring it up.
You gonna be in the parade?
No, I'm good. I got shit to do. But I just
got shit to do. What else do you have to do? You already took a vacation in the middle of the fucking playoffs. What do you have to do on the day of the parade if the Astros win the World Series, Dallas?
Well, I have other endeavors.
Like what? You work in baseball. There's no more baseball. What do you have to do?
I've got irons in the fire, Jared.
I thought you were about to make like, I got irons in my bag. I'm gonna go to Top Golf.
No,
which I am doing on Monday. I'm going to they set up Top Golf at Fenway Park.
You're gonna drive the ball picker or what?
Dude, I was on the golf. Fuck you. I was on the golf team. Saugus High 2003 state champs.
Fucking putt state champs. The only man to hit it through the dragon's mouth on the first try. Don't fuck with me.
I was on JV, but like we still get a ring if varsity wins.
Let's go.
2003 Saugus
2003
High.
senior captain on the JV golf team. That's right.
I never did make varsity, but in fairness, fuck you. I started golfing like 2 weeks before I started high school. Like I picked it up because I was like, it's a fall sport. Need something to do with
my talent. Cracking that fucking dynamite powerhouse roster. Those Saugus sticks out there.
I just told you they won state title in my freshman year. Jake, look that up.
You can't argue a state, man.
Yeah, state champs still get a ring. I'm basically like the Mark Appel. If the Phillies won the World Series, I'm the Mark Appel of the Saugus High golf team. He gets a ring.
Absolutely, he does.
Yeah. Did you see his tweet the other day?
That's great. Yes, I'm ready.
Mark Appel is a beautiful human being, and I look forward to getting him back on the podcast. Was that on the old podcast or is that this one? The old one, right?
That was the old one.
Okay. We're going to get him back on the new one.
Yeah. Probably going to have to wait for this thing to die down, though, this whole offseason thing. Because, again, just one ball game away from this entire season being over.
Mm-hmm.
What was your thoughts the minute that things got started the way they did for the Astros? Altuve ends up on third. Mr. Pena comes up. Knock. Interesting enough that they had brought the defense in, and Smoltz did acknowledge that.
Mm-hmm.
I acknowledged it as I was thinking about it as well. Why? And does that send a message
to bring the infield in the first inning?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if runs are at a premium,
they're at a premium, but this is still a baseball game, meaning you still have the 27 outs to deal with. And that early on, that's why I asked if it sends a message. And I believe it could be a subconscious message. And I mean, we all have a name for it. It's called the panic button.
The Phillies don't believe in their ability to score runs.
And that's why I'm like, because you've got the fucking dude at the top of the lineup who did exactly what he just did. Right?
Yeah.
Lead off homer. Fucking tie ball game.
Mm-hmm.
So why the pressing? I guess I'm just curious. Why the pressing in that moment? Is it because Verlander's on the mound? Is it because you do not think that there's no way in hell, much like I did, unlike you and Joe, that Verlander could get it done this time? And the Phillies might have been thinking, look, we don't want to play with fire twice here. Like if we can get a run or if we can prevent a run with this, we got to try to do it.
You want the honest answer to that question?
I don't know.
Yes.
I think Rob Thompson listens to the podcast, and he was like, the boys were talking last night, and they were all saying the same thing. Justin Verlander can't be that bad again.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a leadoff triple. Jose Altuve is at third base. Nobody out. You bring that fucking infield in because if Justin Verlander can't be that bad again, that means he's going to be what? It means he's going to be good.
Going to be lights out.
Yeah.
And you got to deal with exactly who you just dealt with, right? Fucking Neris, Montero, and good luck, Stanek or Presley.
A 5-out save from Presley.
Mm-hmm.
How many? What did I see that stat earlier? That he hasn't had very many of those in his entire career.
No, not very many. I could look it up real quick. If to be totally honest, I'm probably in no condition to start looking up numbers and shit. But yeah, I'm all. That's one of the things. One of the things I look at across bullpens. Just even if I'm at home, just baked in thinking about shit, like the dependency of a guy and how many outings of 4 outs or more do they have under their belt? Because that is asking them to tap into a mindset that not a lot of guys are necessarily comfortable with in high leverage spots. Now, I'm not telling you that relievers aren't comfortable getting ups and downs. I know you got it, Joe. But to be a high leverage guy, late inning guy, and to be asked consistently to take care of the last 2 outs of this inning and then maybe get the next 3 hitters out or go back out and get the next 2 or the first 2 of the next, it's not something you see a ton of in super high leverage spots. So guys that are capable of that, guys that have had success doing that, I always try to find those guys. That's just something I look for. So what do you got, Joe?
Nothing.
Oh, I thought you were raising your finger like you had him.
No, I stopped looking because I thought Joe had it.
I don't have any. I'm more of not really a numbers guy. I'm more of a feel. I go by optics.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you right now, Ryan Presley, like he's done this many times throughout the days.
Yeah, your eyeballs just told you that.
He was so comfortable out there.
Well, he's a dog.
He was a fucking dog. And when he was out there, did you trust him?
Yeah, so I'll tell you right now, Ryan Presley, in the year of our Lord and Savior 2022, Ryan Presley had exactly 1 outing of 4 outs or more. And it was a 6-out outing, a 2-inning outing in July against the Angels. 2 innings, no hits, 3 punchies. Other than that, it was a 1-inning affair at most, as little as 1 out. He did that twice. Came in and recorded just an out. Not saying he faced just 1 hitter, but recorded just an out.
He hasn't been touched yet this postseason.
If you rewind back to 2021 World Series, you'll notice Presley went 1 2/3 against the Braves.
Yes, he
in
did.
Game 4. So there's a precedent for Presley. He had a good time.
He had a good time.
They lost to the Braves, but I mean, how can you blame him? I actually was there in person now that I'm looking at it, and I witnessed it. So you got to tip your cap to Joe.
Oh yeah,
for making the trip to Atlanta.
The third person reference, love it.
Ryan Presley had only 1 5-out save this season. Yeah.
Yep. One. What,
Dallas can relate to this. From John Morosi, Chas McCormick was drafted in the 21st round, which is a round that no longer exists.
Yeah, he was drafted 3 rounds before I was.
Yeah.
I love that play. I loved every minute of that catch. That was so. I mean, it wasn't it wasn't super flashy. It's a great play, and that's why I posted the quick video just of him bracing with his hand up against the wall, just looking to feel it out, knowing where you are. Excuse me. He had been tracking the ball wonderfully the entire time. Never lost sight of it. Elevated perfectly. Just high pointed it, if you will, above the defender, should there have been one. He was coming down, tiptoeing both feet in, and that was 6. That was a beautiful fucking play. Beautiful play.
Game-saving play.
Game-saving play. There was another one. As well.
McCormick on the move. He's at the track. He's at the wall. Makes the grab. Chas McCormick. 2 gone in the 9th.
That was nuts.
He
So
went the
fucking
other
good.
way. That's the stroke. And this play right there, I mean, the degree of difficulty, and it's a double or triple. But JT stays on the ball, and it looks like for a moment that's going to be trouble.
Fucking
here's the other
Chas
thing about this-
McCormick.
Here's the other thing about this play too. The reason it's important is if I remember correctly, Tucker's in the shot when he makes that catch. Is he not? Like, can you see Tucker in the screen?
Let's see. Well, it's a
And
tight shot. It's
Okay,
not a
but
wide
what
shot.
What I'm getting at is
She didn't have a chance to catch it.
No, Tucker did not have a chance to catch it, but what I'm getting at is where was he at in proximity to the ball? Should it have caromed off? Was he in a spot to back up? I got to believe he was. I got to believe he was probably close to it, but that's something you have to consider as well. As if McCormick's not able to get to that ball, that thing hits, caroms, kicks, and now who knows what's happening?
The McCormick family still in hell watching these baseball games.
Oh, man.
Chas
tough spot to be
McCormick with a game-saving catch in Game 5 of the World Series.
Well, speaking of
To go up
game-saving
3-2.
plays, there's another fantastic play made. Maybe initially you think fantastic. It was a great play by Trey Mancini at first base.
Mm.
Hot shot down the line, but clearly
No
and
doubles.
obviously with the game situation, no doubles defense. So Trey's hugging that line. You've got the outfielders with their fucking ass hair tickling the warning track. Like everybody's playing no doubles defense. That's an elementary thought. That's something you learn very, very early on
Mhm.
as to why Trey Mancini might be playing somewhere near the bag in the 7th inning of a World Series game.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's when as soon as Schwarber hit that, I was like, no doubles.
Yep. You just, I mean, it's,
I mean, at that, might as well change that name to no singles because Schwarber got nothing on that one. I mean, it's rough. Hit that ball hard.
yeah, scorcher. Mancini, right place, right time, or just playing no doubles defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's heads up ball right
But-
there.
Well, it's heads up, but like if we're being honest too, for Trey, just not to defend him, but to go to bat for him, like that dude puts in work all day, every day, whether he's in the starting lineup or not. Like we know what kind of worker that dude is. So it's not like for me, I wasn't going to be any more impressed with his prowess over there, knowing what kind of work he puts in. But you do have to understand and give credit to a guy who hasn't been the regular over there and comes up in a big spot. Game finds you. The ball's going to find you in a big situation like
Yeah,
it does.
man.
And he fucking comes through.
Yeah, you're 0 for 17. Everyone's like, man, this guy we traded for, he sucks. Biggest play, just a fucking shot right at you.
Yeah.
Love it.
That had debacle written all over it, man.
Love it.
Shout out to the fucking infield coach for the Baltimore Orioles who taught him that. You know what I'm talking about? That video that goes viral like all the time where that guy's teaching Mancini. It's like, man, he's like, catch it with your face.
Catch it with your face.
You gotta catch it with your face.
If you were
Any young ball players out there, go find that clip.
take your game to the next level.
Yeah.
If you were to pick a player of the game for
Pena.
Game 5 of the World Series, Jeremy Pena,
Mhm.
RBI knock, a homer, Justin Verlander finally getting over the hump, 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 4 walks, which was troubling early.
Early. That's what you call a gutsy performance. That is the definition of a gutsy performance. You're out there and within the first 3 innings or whatever it is, 4 fucking free passes, slider not dialed at all, spraying the zone, jerking the slid row. You got to get out there. You got to figure shit out. And that's why him being who he is, allows him to go to Dusty and say, Dusty, you're Dusty motherfucking Baker. You know who I am too, all right? Give me the fucking ball and let me get out there and figure this out. I'm not far off. I'm just a click away, and I'll be able to get us through 5-6 innings, all right? Just give me the fucking ball. And Verlander went out there and did exactly that.
They had a guy warming up right away.
Or not Presley, but fucking what you call it? Early, second inning, right?
Yeah. I thought it was the first, but first early.
Was it the first? Was it the
Might
first?
have been.
Like I think I looked up and he was at like 36 pitches. So whatever point that was at is when they were cranking. And I was thinking the same thing, like, oh man, like we just had a conversation last night about how this is not going to happen. Can we sit him the fuck down, please?
Where's he ranked now, Jared, in the all-time leaderboards
Probably not great.
of ERA?
Probably
He's
still the worst. Probably
Yeah,
still
probably, yeah.
Who gives a fuck?
But look, I think this was a lot of this is about the Philadelphia Phillies not being able, their lineup not being able to come through, capitalize with men on base.
Oh yeah, plenty of chances, and they've been doing it all. It's like the last two games. It's like what's going on,
Joey? At what point? Well, they started the series 4 for 8, hitting 500 with runners in scoring position. Hot.
all playoffs, not even
Banging,
this series.
banging.
Anytime, any opportunity, they cashed it in every single fucking time.
At one point tonight, they reached an 0 for 18, I believe. They got it to 0 for 18 with runners in scoring position, the Phillies. That's a hell of a run to go on at the worst possible time.
Yeah, dude.
Not until Gene the Hit Machine comes up, a.k.a. Clutch Gene, are they able to get a little momentum going in that regard. But that speaks to the Astros pitching staff bearing down. You need to make pitches. You need to be able to hand the ball over to guys who are going to lock it down, keep shit right where it's at. There you go. That's what the Astros have decided to do these last 3 games.
Astros fans are still delusional, huh? I didn't realize. I thought like the majority of Astros fans had accepted
Come back down to earth.
just like accepted what happened in 2017, and that, you know, if you're a smart, sensible Astros fan, if it were me, I would be wanting to win this year because it's like, all right, because fuck, that really sucks that the team I root for did that shit in 2017, but like we have a good enough team to win it legit this time. So I tweeted after the game. My post-game tweet was, Justin Verlander finally does the damn thing in the World Series, and it couldn't come at a more important time. Astros have responded to getting pummeled 7-0 by no-hitting the Phillies and winning a nail-biter. They're 1 win away from their first legit World Series title. And I am just flooded with Astros fans being like, nope, second. How could, if I don't care if you're a diehard Astros fan or not, how could you argue someone saying that this would be their first legit World Series title? Like we're not talking opinions here. It's just fact.
If you're a fan, how do you listen to players who have played on that team that you're holding so close to your heart say themselves that they need to get another one so they can feel good about it? How do you hear that and not think twice about where you're holding this in regards to legitimacy? Well, stop it. Like, and that's the whole, like, you don't have to have that conversation with these folks because the truth is what it is, and they're choosing to live in an alternate reality, and that's fine. There's not a lot of them there. I mean, you know, however large the fan base is, give or take a few fucking psychos, and that's the population, Jared. Outside of that, outside of everybody else who uses common sense for the majority of their day, they don't think that. They know that. This is, I think, just to add a little to that, because there's still players from that team on the team, not a ton, but they're still there. That also plays into needing to get this done now, because if the Astros win a World Series in 2037, what are you going to do? You're going to fucking rewind the clock all the way back and go, see? Told you 17 was legit. We got the fucking guys to, like, buddy, you got fucking Gurriel's fucking cousin,
grandson,
son. I don't fucking know. No. So I think that plays into it too.
I just did not realize that they were still like defending 17. Like there's just no way. It is what it is. Everyone knows.
What are you going to do? You're an Astros fan? You're going to say, okay, you can have the trophy back.
No, not even that. But just, you can't, if someone says that if the Astros win this World Series, that it's their first legit World Series, maybe don't push back on that notion because that's just a fact.
Jared, these Texans, they ain't afraid to dig in, bud.
That's fine, but you just sound like a fucking idiot.
Dig in. Hey, they ain't afraid to dig in. You ever heard of the Alamo?
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
They ain't afraid to dig in. All right.
Yeah.
It's whether you want to justify it or just that is what it is. So know that. Understand the great Republic of Texas and fucking let them be.
Yeah, you gotta let them be. They've had 3 years to hone this argument, dude. They got it down. The talking points.
Yes. Like they for sure. You just fire one of them up and you could see the glimmer in their eye and you could hit a timer and just go. And you're getting 3.5 solid minutes of regurgitation. And at the end of it all, they don't even know what they just said to you. I
don't blame them, man. I don't blame them, dude. They get more shit than anyone. Like everywhere you go, you wear an Astros jersey. Even I go to a game at like Nats Park. And it's like,
because the fans were like, you know what? If they're going to keep us from the players, like they're not going to let us into the ballpark. Okay. Is that the fucking deal? You don't want to let us into the ballpark? COVID? Okay, that's fine. You know who's going to wear it? Stacy in accounting. That's right. Fuck her. She's an Astros fan. I'm going to fucking let her know about it. Yep. That's right. Bob up top, second floor. He's fucking hearing about it. You bet your sweet ass. And that's what fans did. They just took it out on the other fans. Fine.
Yeah.
I will say this though. I feel like the Astros cheating and the backlash they got have really prepared that team to come into Philly and win 2 out of 3 because they're like used to it. They're used to getting booed, used to being called a shitbag everywhere they go. Like how many times has Altuve gotten booed?
Yeah.
And at first everyone's like, "Oh my God, he looks so sad." Wow. But nowadays, it's like, I mean, does he even hear a boo?
No.
These guys are a resilient bunch. They've heard they get death threats, I'm sure, regularly.
That was messed up, Joe.
What?
No. What I'm laughing at is the fucking I laughed about Van Wilder. Didn't I tell you? Have you guys seen the movie Van Wilder?
Yes.
Yeah, National Lampoon's Van Wilder. When he walks into the basketball game at halftime, and it's fucking Penny and fucking Odom and from the dog pen and the basketball coach. Their coach is deaf, and he says, "For the first time in my life, I'm glad I'm deaf, so I don't have to listen to the boos." But the way he says it is, oh my God, it's fucking incredible. Yes. Oh, it's a great scene. Great scene. But yeah, you got to hit with runners in scoring position, man. It's got to happen.
Well, I mean, I got stopped. I mean, Dallas obviously submitted his vote, but I don't think it's so cut and dry. Player of the game: Justin Verlander, Jeremy Pena,
It's Jeremy Pena.
Ryan Presley, Chas McCormick.
No. Great plays. Presley, nuts on the line. 5 outs. That's big. Great play from McCormick. Potentially game saving. I think when you have somebody in the role that Pena is playing for the Astros, and maybe I'm sprinkling a little romance dust on this as well, but this is a dude who's taking over for a perennial all-star. A 9-figure player in Carlos Correa, and to have the confidence in that guy to be able to let a guy like Correa leave town and feel like you haven't missed a fucking beat. This is the dude who has driven your offense in this game. Homer got it started early in the first inning, is playing exceptional defense. For me, it's Pena.
It's Mr. Pena, hands down. 2 ribbies, and you win by 1.
It's big.
That's the difference maker, brother.
Justin Verlander, 5 innings, only gave up 1.
Yeah, it's a.
But he's expected to do that. I think the context is that he never has really done that in the World Series.
Correct, and I'm gonna go one step further because I'd like to believe that Verlander would go one step further here. No, he's not expected to go 5.
Right, he's expected to go 7, 8.
Yes, thank you, and he would hold himself to that same standard. So he feels good about getting through this outing. He's
the 4 walks saved him. If he comes back, if he doesn't walk 4 guys. And he's able to come back out for the 6th. He gives up 5 runs in the 6th.
No, Jared, if he doesn't walk 4 guys, we're talking about 2 innings worth of work that the Phillies were going to have no shot at. Because what you were going to see is not a Justin Verlander searching for the slider. You were going to see a Justin Verlander starting to dial shit up in the 7th and 8th inning like he was back in the aughts. Back when I was watching this fucker just completely undress my lineup. Now it's 98. Now it's 99. It's the fucking 8th inning. Who the fuck is this guy? Oh, it's still Verlander. Just 2.0, looking to close the door. That's no fun to be staring down the barrel of. So if he doesn't have those 4 walks early, I'm not saying it's 98, 99 in the fucking 9th inning, but that's a big swollen nutsack ready to just blast off all over you.
Yeah. Well, speaking of nut sacks, you want to talk? What? You want to talk in-depth football? Talk straight from the future Hall of Famers Tom Brady and Larry Fitzgerald. Let's go. Every Monday on Let's Go, a Sirius XM podcast with Tom Brady, Larry Fitzgerald, and Emmy Award-winning journalist Jim Gray. Hear championship perspective on the trending topics on and off the field. Get expert analysis on the latest NFL action and find out what it takes to win 7 Super Bowl rings. It's 5-time Super Bowl MVP Tom Brady and 11-time Pro Bowler Larry Fitzgerald at the microphone and unfiltered.
That's ludicrous.
If it's on their minds, it's on Let's Go. Plus, all season long on Let's Go. Hear the best guests in the podcast world, from Oprah and Snoop Dogg to today's NFL stars. Listen to Let's Go with Tom Brady and Larry Fitzgerald and Jim Gray every Monday night through the 2022-2023 football season on Stitcher, Pandora, and wherever you get your podcasts. That's not even a paid ad read. That's just Tom fucking hit me up and he was like, dude, could you help us?
Tommy, did he hit you up on the way to Nordstrom's?
Did you say I go to Nordstrom?
No, on his way to Nordstrom's.
Oh, I go to Nordstrom sometimes.
This isn't about you.
Thank you, Joey. Thank you.
This is about Tom.
I didn't want to have to say it, but that somebody did. Fucking, you're so vain. You probably think the song is about you. You're so vain.
Damn. That got me deep, Joe.
Fuck Nordstrom, bro. Macy's.
Damn.
Where are you at mentally right now if you're on that plane?
For what?
If you're, well, I told you where you're at mentally if you're on the Astros plane. This is just a fucking dress rehearsal, bud. Come on. If you're on that Phillies plane, you're staring your entire season in the face right now. Everything that you have grinded for, right? All the pixie dust is either going to carry you through or it's going to come flaking off in 48 hours. The magic of the wild card. The fanatical Philly faithful carrying you emotionally to what? A 1-2 series at home? That's fucking brutal. So what are you going to do now?
It's like, it sucks because it's like you didn't win the division. I mean, if you lose tomorrow,
is that just a cheap shot there, Joe?
I'm just saying, if you lose Saturday, it's like you rather just not make the playoffs at that point because you didn't win the division. You have nothing to show for it. Its whole season was wasted. You wasted a whole month of rehab for Bryce Harper, who's gonna need to get surgery after the year. So that's a whole month of rehab Bryce has given up for you to not even get a ring in anything. So this, yes, it's a must-win game. It's going to be a tough flight.
Oh, yeah, it's a must-win for sure. It's a fair assessment, Joe.
But 3 words for the Phillies in that plane. Why not us?
Bro, the Phillies can't steal another fucking Red Sox thing.
Oh, what? You guys think everything is your thing?
Are you kidding me?
Joey.
Why not us?
Why
was the
not us is
2000
Red Sox.
Yes.
That's Red Sox. That's what started Why Not Us.
Yes. 2004 Red Sox were Why Not Us. Kurt Schilling was literally wearing the t-shirt that said Why Not Us.
But there's a billion Why Not Us.
After the Red Sox did it, yeah.
All right, well, I don't
No,
believe that.
no, it's just
Even
not
if I,
this. It's not on the record.
it can't be.
It's because there's not a t-shirt. Doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Why Not Us is fucking was invented in the fucking 30s.
Jared, you have to right now grab the microphone on that bus on the way to the airport as a Philadelphia Philly leader in the clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
What are you saying to the boys? What are you saying to your team that you're supposed to be rallying? You got 27 outs left to get your shit together and not have this entire season be in vain. How do you rally the boys? What do you say? What emotion do you tap into?
Not fucking tomorrow! What about tonight? Tonight, Carrabis! Say something!
Say something.
I'm like, hello, welcome, teammates, fellow players on the team.
So, yeah.
I get
Just
up there.
flew in from Boston, and boy, are my arms tired.
If I could just, borrow a word from one of the most famous
Or a
pump
booster
up
seat.
speeches of all time, just get up there and
Yeah, so,
then the whole fucking room
God.
is just
Hey, you know what? No, yeah. Nothing more needs to be said after that.
whole.
You said
The
it all.
boys are just fist pumping on the plane. They're ringing the bell. They're like, "How can we not win 2 in Houston after hearing that shit?"
Yeah. You said it all. You said
Dude,
it all.
that's. I just took you inside the Phillies' flight to Houston. That's how it's going right now.
They are replaying the 2019 Nationals, who did the same thing, down 3-2,
Yeah.
went to Houston, and slapped them in their face.
Well, I tell you who's got to come correct on Saturday.
The Phillies.
Clearly,
Mhm.
the meat and potatoes, Joe. 2, 3, 4. Meat and potatoes. Because all of them were driving the struggle bus. Real Moots,
Mm.
Harp,
Well,
Hoskins, like,
Harp's doing well. He's drawing his walks, got a hit.
buddy, what were they? What were they tonight?
He got walked. He got walked at least twice, maybe just once. He got a single.
They're 0 for 13.
Nah, Bruce. Bruce got a hit, baby.
Yeah, he did.
He drove one in the right about 130 miles per hour,
Oh, that's
and
right.
he drew a nice little walk.
So
there.
then they were what?
So don't
one
put
for-
this on Bruce. Realmuto is the one struggling, and same with Hoskins. But like, are they? It's just I know.
Well,
It's like
2,
2
3, 4
games.
for Philly. 0 for 10, or 0 for over 12, 13, right? Look it up.
All right. Well, we know Bryce got a hit.
Okay, so minus that.
But I agree. If they suck, I mean, they have to do well. I agree.
It's got to happen. It's got to happen.
Yeah.
You can't have that big of a vacancy in production there in that spot.
I just feel like the Phillies really, 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 really rely on their offense more than anyone, because they just have been offensively just knocking everything. And as soon as they don't for 1.5 games, it's like, holy shit, this team sucks.
Yeah, so
they're not going to shut anybody out. Their bullpen's pitching well, but
They did shut the Astros out.
Well, that was old. I'm talking about
That was the old Astros.
they're not going to consistently do that.
Just to clarify here, the 2, 3, 4, they were 1 for 13 with 7 fucking punch outs.
Not good.
No, not good.
Not good.
Which is why the meat and potatoes is going to have to get it done.
Let me ask you, Dallas, as a former big leaguer, the day off before Game 6, is that time to reset, or is that time to sit alone for 24 hours with your insecurities and self-doubt going into an elimination game?
No, it's time to reset. It's time to reset. This is what you're good at. This is why you are here, is because throughout your entire career, and I am talking about from the amateur level, and it could be the highest of the amateur levels, elite high school level, college level, into the minor leagues, now we're talking professional, but every step of the way there that I've just mentioned, you have had to compartmentalize, and you have learned how to have, because baseball players have, and it's kind of an oxymoron, they have the memory of an elephant and the memory of a gnat all at the same time. They never forget and they never remember. I will never forget whose ass I shoved it up, and I will never remember who kicked my ass because they got fucking lucky. And why would I remember that?
Yeah. Kyle Schwarber, after getting no hit last night.
Yeah, it gives a fuck.
Part of this end of baseball history. Just how does it feel when you realize this is just the second World Series? No.
Yeah, I really don't give. No, move on to tomorrow. That's cool. We'll be in the history books, I guess.
Just so good. That's exactly what you want to hear.
Of that clubhouse. Yeah, I don't give a shit.
That's what you want to hear. Not only is it what you want to hear, that's what you want to hear and who you want to hear it from. Because you're wondering, all right, if we're going down the list of guys here who we think have a voice in this clubhouse outside of the obvious of Bryce Harper being the leader and Real Muto being one of the leaders just because of the position he plays and what he means to this team. But you think about a guy like Schwarbs, who is obviously going to be a part of what they're doing here, but the value that he brings, the character that he brings to the clubhouse, to hear that from him sort of sets the emotional tone, right? Because Harp dude's playing with his hair on fire. That's the only way he knows how to play. He's showing up like he's driving to the ballpark, spikes on, unied up, ready to rock. Everybody else knows that. When you get this kind of messaging from this corner of the clubhouse, you like to hear that. That just helps everybody else look around and go, yep, we're good. All good. It's baseball. We know that we just got to play this next game and win that one so that we can play the important one. That's how you have to think about this.
Day off on Friday. And then on Saturday, Game 6 of the World Series between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Houston Astros, 8:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're going to get Zach Wheeler and his 2.67 postseason ERA versus Framber Valdez in his 1.42 postseason ERA.
Gosh.
Unbeaten 2-0.
Are the Phillies going to check him? Are they going to call for a substance check? Are they going to go there? On the line.
You have to know that this is what the camera's going to be watching.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now that conversation amongst the crew has already been had. Already been had. The camera crew.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to catch it? Who's going to see it? Whose shot is going to get used? Everybody's eyes are going to be on that. Everybody's eyes are going to be on that.
And if you're Rob Thompson, you have to kind of be like, if we're going to ask for a check, like, are our guys clean? Like, you got to be careful before you fire that arrow. Because Dusty don't play that shit.
But that did not stop Showalter from doing it.
That's just the idea of making sure your lawn is mowed before you start calling the HOA about fucking weeds. You got to get your shit together.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Because the minute that it's in baseball, the minute that becomes a thing, all bets are off. Every bit of this whole understanding, sportsmanship, give and take, out the window. I'm checking every one of your motherfuckers coming in now. You think I'm not? Every one of them. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I?
Yeah, why don't we do it every single game? Can the Blues say no? Like if I'm every single pitcher?
I think he would be. I mean, you're putting a guy in a tough spot.
Yeah,
because you have to have a valid reason. This conversation goes like this. Hey, we've been watching this shit for 2 innings, 3 innings. All right. Every fucking time this guy goes to his hand or goes to his hair or whatever body part you're picking, not only do we see a spinner, but I mean, it looks a little different. Like, is there any chance you guys can get together, have a conversation about this? Maybe watch for the next couple pitches and see if you see what I'm seeing, and then maybe get together and have a conversation. That's how you have to kind of massage that with the umpires, as opposed to, because umpires do their homework too. It's not like these guys are walking into the game and have no idea what the guy on the mound is all about. They know who he is. They know what type of shit he throws. They know how he likes to work, whether he's quick or not. Is he a nibbler? Is he a guy who attacks? Like, they know who they're dealing with out there. But they're there to police the game, enforce the rules, and should there be any sort of nefarious activity, they're expected to be privy to that. But
I guess. But I mean, you can see on TV every single pitcher is doing some fucking sliding around.
Yeah, you can see that on TV, but you have one umpire behind the plate. You've got one at first, second, and third, and then out in the outfield as well now, because it's the World Series. And it might sound weird, but not all of those dudes are looking at the pitcher. And not all of them are watching him after the pitch either. They're looking around. They're checking shit out, scoping. So it could be a glance at a pitcher and then a glance at the third baseman. And in between there is when somebody's going to a glove, a hat, a fucking, who knows?
Yeah, but if the umpires saw it, they wouldn't do anything about it. If they don't see it, which I'm sure they do see it, but they wouldn't do anything about it.
Well, you can always just go back to the John Farrell, Michael Pineda thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was egregious.
I mean, it's that bad, and it was
a shit stain on his neck,
right? And to my point, like, you could see Farrell basically saying, "Look, man, I pretty much have to say something here. Like, otherwise, I'm the asshole."
Well,
right?
didn't he get exposed for it the game before? Didn't Pineda?
I think it happened after that.
No,
he got caught and got ejected, and I think it happened again after that. And everyone was like, "What the fuck with this dude?"
Yeah.
But what's the difference between that and then it's like, okay, he had on his neck, but then it's like not every pitcher, but like when the pitcher has a fucking shit stain on his hat.
Dirt.
No one's going out of their way.
Joe, the balls are rubbed down with dirt. You sweat. You get sweat on your hand. If you touch dry dirt with wet sweat, you start to create a muddy substance to an extent that becomes a dirt stain. And lesser individuals like yourself start to fire arrows at pitchers undeservingly and call them cheaters.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to kick a guy who's trying to be gritty, wearing a dirty hat, old school.
There you go.
Lucky hat.
Let him live.
Let him live.
Let the sweat stains roll.
Let him live, man.
This pitching matchup favors Houston.
C.
Really?
No love for
Yeah,
Zach
Valdez?
Wheeler.
Over
I gotta think so.
The Wheeler and Dealer?
Mm-hmm.
His stuff is nasty.
There's no doubt. This is a. I'm biased. Give me the Lesty, but I'd rather watch this than a Wheeler Verlander.
Yeah. Well,
or than a Nola Verlander.
We did just see this, and we saw Valdez outperform Wheeler, but
yeah, I
same argument we had with Verlander. If you suck for so long, one day you're not going to suck. And this is a short. Not that Wheeler's been sucking all this the whole time. He's been great, but
you pretty much just said the Phillies are taking the biggest chance of the season, handing him the ball in a must-win game. Your words, not mine. So,
no,
however you want to phrase that is,
I said that about Syndergaard. I trashed Syndergaard.
You did trash Syndergaard. You fucking
to his
trashed
family. I trashed him, and you know what? He did okay. But I mean, Wheeler's their best pitcher. I mean, you can't be like, oh no, this is who they want.
Oh, this is absolutely who they want on the mound. And this is the good thing about the Phillies being in the position they have, the 1-2. Because you're confident either way, whether it's handing the ball to Nola or to Wheeler, you're good. You're confident in your chance to win the ball game that day. The problem is the dude who's taking the ball opposite of those guys, either one of them, and that's Framber Valdez.
What would you say as a pitcher, like if you dominate a team and you dominate them for 6 innings, whatever it is, and then you face the same lineup 4 days later, like it's almost like you're going through the lineup a fourth time.
No, there's a couple schools of thought here to that, Joe. And one is, what did that first outing look like? Like, did you have a chance? Or was I burying you? Were there loud outs? Were there balls at guys? Were there a couple runs given up and I survived? Or was I dominant? Because if it's the first scenario where I was getting touched up and you were barreling me and I just had guys in the right spot and I was able to kind of scatter some hits and maybe make a big pitch or two and get out of some tight spots, that's very, very different than me cruising through 6 or 7 innings, unthreatened, 0 high leverage situations where I'm not feeling any real stress at all. Because if that's the case, buddy, you don't want me taking the ball the next time out coming off that outing, because you're essentially my bitch. You have no fucking chance. No fucking chance. But the initial outing of scattering and blah, blah, now mentally I feel like, all right, hey, got to roll up the sleeves, got to go to work here, because I don't have the luxury of that sparkling outing to lie to myself and tell myself that I'm going to be that fucking dude times 10. But that's the mentality.
Yeah, but what if like if you're throwing a guy, like if you're facing this guy and you got the game plan on, I'm gonna throw him all sliders, but then you face him twice and you throw him all sliders. The third at bat, you're like, well, am I gonna keep throwing sliders?
Well, this is where you're going into the lab, right? You're watching video. And now, like for me in this situation, what I would do, Joey, is I would be paying attention to these lineups and to these guys who have had at bats in similar situations like this against guys like me who might have the same pitch usage similar to mine. Meaning if I'm a heavy slider guy, I want to see what they're doing with runners in scoring position against a heavy slider guy. So I'm probably looking at some late inning guys, some bullpen guys. What kind of at bats are they taking there? Are they getting off on fastballs early in the count? Are they waiting me out? Are they eliminating a certain pitch from a guy and then trying to fire on a fastball, regardless of where this fucking thing is? Like, are they taking swings out of the zone on fastballs early in the count? Because that can give you some information. For me, that tells me they want no part of me spinning it. So now all I got to do is land one of these for a strike. I expand. Strike one becomes strike two. And now I've got room to wiggle. But going into the history of the last week or so can help you. And then going into the history of what those at-bats look like in previous similar scenarios. So if you've got guys who have those postseason at-bats like the Astros do, if you're Zach Wheeler, if you're Sir Anthony Dominguez, that's what you're doing, is you're now drawing this up. All right, what does this look like? But if you're Framber Valdez and you said, buddy, shit was smooth early, like I know who I am, like check the log, bud. Quality start. El Capitan. What do you think's coming? I'm going to sink it. I'm going to spin it. I'm going to drop that hammer on your back foot. And you're going to have no fucking chance. Again.
We'll see. I'm kind of liking the Phillies now. I'm thinking about it. I think Valdez might be a little bit like, ooh, I got in trouble. I got in trouble last time. I don't want to do as much sweat. And
interesting. This is where you, if you're the Phillies, do you decide to go up there and say, not doing it, not swinging at the curveball, not doing it, not do it. If I see that fucking thing start to spin and it starts middle, nope, no. And who knows how long it takes for the Phillies to either stay committed to that or Framber continue to execute it or not be able to execute it. Because if he's not able to execute something like that, and that is the game plan, now the Phillies have eliminated a breaking ball that Framber can't land, and now he's trying to sink it. The problem is the Phillies are diving out over. Maybe they scoot up in the box, take a little of that depth away, and they start to get to him. See the sinker baller up. Who's going to make the adjustment first? Who is committed to the game plan that puts them one step ahead of the opposition, as opposed to being reactionary? Who's being proactive here and saying, I think, or giving their opponent credit, which I think you should always do, not too much, but let's start here. Meaning, I'm going to come at you firm early instead of backwards, because that's what I think you might be looking for. I'm not going to give you the opportunity to eliminate the breaking ball. I'm going to force feed you fastballs. And by the time you look up, it's going to be the third inning. I've thrown 10 breaking balls and everything else has been sinking arm side away and you've been rolling shit over. Because I have refused to fall back into the pattern that had me lighting you up last time, because you were waiting for that. You were going to be all over that first pitch quality strike breaking ball. Instead of me thinking I was going to get away and steal a strike, now I'm backing up fucking third because you just banged one off the wall. Fuck that. I'm getting ahead of you.
It's going to be interesting, man. Because can you do the same game plan? You just have the same, you just throw them all these curveballs.
It. That's why it's about who's going to make the decision, who's going to make the adjustment, who's going to make the decision, and what decision is it going to be to either, like I said, flip the script, be one step ahead. Are you going to be reactionary or proactive? Reactive, proactive. What do you want to do?
I don't know. I'm feeling a lot of runs, and I would like to see that breakdown in a long series like this, when all these pitchers keep seeing the same pitchers and over again. It's like I feel like eventually, and of course they're getting tired and shit. There's got to be just an influx of runs in the 6th and 7th game after you've faced. And you've been pitching on 3-4 days rest all playoffs.
No,
I guess this is true for the Astros.
This is where you're under the squat rack, Joey, and it's rep 9, and you're saying to yourself, I was supposed to do 10, but you want to know who does 10? My opponent. You want to know who does 11? Is the guy who wants to be better than him, the guy who wants to be better than my opponent. You want to know who goes till failure? the motherfucker
Jared.
who wants it all. And that's me.
I was going to say Jared.
Jared doesn't know what a squat rack is. Jared didn't even hear the words when I said squat rack. Jared heard.
I could see Jared doing 10 reps.
Dude, I'll do 10 reps right now, squat rack. Give me a squat rack right now, I'll do 10. I don't give a fuck.
10 what? 10 push-ups near the squat rack?
To 10 bicep curls in the squat rack. People that get mad about that are fucking losers, dude.
Oh, dude, I'm doing push-ups in the squat rack.
If you're doing bicep curls in the squat rack and you're mad about that, it's like, bro, just pretend that I'm doing squats. Like I'm not playing fucking Monopoly in the squat rack. That would be outrageous. Am I
Why don't
doing
you
a
just go
physical
move
exercise?
that bar? Why don't you just go move that bar? Just carry that bar over that open space.
Because there's an open space right here in the squat rack.
No, there's not. There's the
there
squat
is.
rack.
Nope.
No, the squat rack is there.
Yeah, so is the bar that I'm curling right now.
Right, but you
Yeah.
could just move that bar right over there to that open space, and
Or
then
you
pick
could
it
just
up
go-
and curl it all you want.
You could go get a dumbbell and do
Because
some
you're strong
fucking
enough to curl it. You
goblet
don't need a
skills.
rack. You don't need a rack. You're strong
Yeah, but
enough
you got to
to
put
curl
it down somewhere.
on the ground.
I
The
can't bend
The
down.
ground is here for you and me both to use freely.
No, I don't bend down.
You don't put you don't what? You don't put it down?
I don't bend down.
Oh, you don't. Yeah.
All right. Day off. Friday. Everyone can clear your thoughts.
Reset.
Mentally reset. Mentally prepare yourself.
So we
for
know
game
what
6.
Jared would do. Jared would be sitting in a room all himself with his insecurities, as he said, thinking
No.
about how the
No.
fuck do I avoid blowing this game for my team?
No.
How do I not become the guy that
No.
doesn't fuck this up?
No. I mean, it depends on what position I am in this
Oh,
scenario.
you're a right fielder. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, like Aaron Judge, Mookie Betts.
No, he's,
You ever heard of him?
no, Aaron Judge is
Some
the
of the
greatest
best players
center
in the game.
fielder of all time. From what
Bryce
I've been
Harper. All the greats. Jared Carrabis. You can't use right fielder as an insult anymore. It's just not. It doesn't make
told. I
sense.
just did.
Yeah, and you sound like an idiot. Just like
No.
you sounded like an idiot when you picked the fucking Astros to win this series.
How's that looking?
Not over yet.
Don't let us win tonight. Don't let us win tonight.
Yeah. Uh huh. Hey,
Don't let us win tonight. Just like they said, the Brooklyn Dodgers way back in the day.
that's right. That's right. If not us, then who?
Mm-hmm.
Huh? And
Yep.
why not us,
Yep.
Joe? 85 Bears. Why not us?
Why
Yep.
not?
Staring that perfect season in the face. Why
Just
not
like-
us? I could
Here come the
hear,
idiots. The
Dolphins.
1975 Cincinnati Reds. Just a couple of idiots. Yep.
The fuck yeah. It was the Dolphins. That's right. It was the Dolphins that were doing the Super Bowl shuffle, and it was the Bears that had the undefeated season.
Yeah.
That's my bad.
Yep. The band of bearded brothers, the 1946 St. Louis Cardinals.
You know them, you love them.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, Jared.
Mhm.
Cue the music.
Houston taking a 3-2 lead. Back home, one game away from their first legit World Series title in franchise history. The Phillies are on the ropes. Wheeler, Framber, Game 6, Saturday. We'll see you then.